Yo, welcome back to the Jam Podcast. I'm Miller.
I'm Gav.
And today we are bringing you guys our NFL 2025 predictions.
Football is here.
Let's get it, man. I'm ready.
My favorite
Birds
time of the year.
Ready to repeat already. Let's get into it.
About that, but let's do it.
AFC East. Who do you have finishing first in that division?
I have the Bills finishing first.
Okay, interesting.
But, not dominantly, but they'll finish first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't think they'll win this thing in dominant fashion?
Like not more than like 3 games is my point.
About 3 games? Okay, that's interesting. I do have the Bills also winning the division at about a 12-5 clip is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I agree.
The Patriots' schedule, who I do have coming in second place, that's the team I wanted to get to, is very favorable. All right, and there are 2 teams specifically in the NFL right now that I think their schedule is the reason why they will end up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and the Patriots is definitely one of them.
You think if they had a hard schedule they wouldn't?
No, yeah, absolutely. I don't think they would. And their first maybe 10 games, it seems like cake. A lot of it does seem like cake. Obviously, I don't think the Patriots' wide receiver talent is great. I think Travion Henderson, he has looked great in preseason, so hopefully he can be a great running back for them. We already know Mike Vrabel is good with his running game and getting things going there, but it's not something I've seen, so I can't trust that.
Right.
I know Drake May has been building out, a connection with Keyshawn Boutte as well, so we'll see how that goes. But once again, I don't know how this team offensively is actually going to look. But once again, Mike Vrabel bringing this team to at least contender status, just like he did with Tennessee, I think they're going to be in second place.
I agree. 100%. I have the Patriots coming in second, and I think from what I've seen, just off of the way he runs and watching how he runs, I love Travion Henderson. I think that's a steal in fantasy drafts, honestly. I really do think he is. Like you said, with Mike Vrabel, it's kind of the same way I look at Amari Hampton with the Chargers. Like, they're going to run the ball.
Exactly.
So it's a good pick for them. And that's my second place. You want me to go ahead and go on to third?
Yeah, you go to your third place team.
Third place here, I am going to go with a hot take. I like Aaron Glenn. Give me the Jets to come third here. I was pondering whether I want to go back and forth. I just think Mike McDaniel has the same problems. And not that I've heard a specific report, but he might be, whether it's, with Tyreek Hill, or I just don't know how that locker room is.
Yeah.
And I just have more confidence in leading a team, maybe not X's and O's, but leading a team in Aaron Glenn than Mike McDaniel. And, they're not going to be dominant because Justin Fields is not the most accurate quarterback, but they will have a good defense. Yeah. A really good defense. And, Justin Fields with the run game and Breece Hall and,
Braylon Allen.
They'll have games. Yeah. They'll have specific games that they go off and play good. So, yeah.
I think, like you said, the Jets are going to have a nice formula to win, and especially some lower-tier games. Yeah. I do have them around a 7-10 clip, the Jets, and they're going to be my third team in the AFC East. So, we agreed on this entire division. Yeah.
And they won't make the playoffs.
No. The Jets
without a chance.
The Jets are not. They will be nowhere near the playoff picture as when the season ends. And the Dolphins, the main reason I have the Dolphins as the fourth team in this division, the last team in this division, is obviously we know this is a team that has, winning pedigree as far as winning 8 to 9 games every season, being an average team. But I really do think it's a vibes thing at this point, to where Mike McDaniel has created such a chill, lax culture around his presence just by himself. And as far as the team, it's a soft team. I mean, you think about Tua's signature win in this league from weeks 1 to 18, because obviously it hasn't been a playoff game. Right. You can't think of one. The best win I think he's had in his career is a couple years back when they beat Dallas in Miami, and that was the biggest win that the Miami Dolphins have had.
They can't play in the cold. They're with their style and everything, and I just don't know. There's a lot of ifs that need to fall into place for them to just be average.
Exactly.
Is Tyreek Hill going to stay the whole year? Not
Tua
get traded.
Going to be healthy?
Is Tua going to finish the season? Which we saw last year. I had Tyreek Hill on my fantasy team. The moment Tua went down, none of the receivers got going anymore. No. So it's just, their offense is kind of reliant on personnel to be perfect. And to be honest, I say this a lot about certain basketball coaches or certain personalities. Certain personalities are not head coaches. Yeah. I think Mike McDaniel, Kingsbury did with Jaden Daniels, I think Mike McDaniel could go next year with a young quarterback and be the best OC in the game.
Absolutely.
But as a head coach, I don't feel the personality, just the vibes. And vibes matter. Like what I get from Aaron Glenn. Like what I get from Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll.
Exactly.
Not necessarily always X's and O's, but just a guy that can push the right buttons and get the most out of every single guy on the field.
Yeah.
And I don't see that with Mike McDaniel as much.
Not at all.
As in every preseason thing I hear, they lack physicality.
I mean, did you hear about the Lions scrimmage
Yeah.
the other day, about that being the most differential and joint practice ever? I mean, that's embarrassing. And once again, at this point, it is a vibes thing of like, how does this team, when there's so much excitement in other organizations and this team basically has none, how does this team with, I would say, below average personnel lift their head coach or lift their personnel to even a playoff spot? It's not realistic.
I just don't know where the leadership is from the outside looking in. Maybe there is, and I'm not in that locker room, but from the outside looking in, I don't see ultimate leadership from players or coaches.
No, and that's why we give it to Aaron Glenn at the third spot. But yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to end up with a top 5 pick in next year's draft, and that's how strongly I think they are not going to be good in this league this year.
Do you go quarterback there?
I've never liked Tua in this league so far. Like, I think he has been put in great positions. I think he's accurate, but I think when you're talking about as far as a ceiling for a quarterback, I don't think he can reach or tap into a constant playoff run where he's producing at a high level just like he does in the regular season. I just don't believe that, especially in the AFC where you do have to go to Baltimore. You have to go to Kansas City. You have to go to Buffalo. You have to go to these places that are all cold, and he hasn't shown us any flashes that he could do that in a good amount of years, right? 4 or 5 years in this league.
I mean, he has a body of work that shows good regular season passer throw or whatever. But
and once again, a body of work that is constantly injured, probably half of his game. So it's like, will he be there throughout the season? Yeah. So that I can see the Dolphins really breaking this thing up at the end of this year. Yeah. So we agree on that division. Yeah. All right, let's move to the AFC West.
Let's do it.
In my opinion, the best division in football. Yeah. This coming year. I don't have a lot of these teams with very low records at all, but who do you have at your number 1 this year?
Yeah, so give me the Chiefs again. Yeah. I'm kind of tired of hearing other teams number 1. I understand this is, once again, the best division in football and 4 Hall of Fame coaches. Yes. Which is, I don't know if we've ever...
Crazy. I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah, so, which is crazy to think about. So, but I just think that, how could you not pick the Chiefs? I don't know what signs they have gave. I think people, when they're grading the Chiefs, and I'll get a speed question on Mahomes later, it's almost like they only remember getting blown out by the Eagles. Yeah. But the AFC still is.
I mean, he was 15-1 until they didn't play their starters. So my thing is, like you just said, the Chiefs...
and this, as important as this position is, they figured out tackle now. Yeah. They haven't had a good tackle in multiple years.
And well, we'll have to see that in the game, obviously. Yeah. But we are hearing good things about, I forgot what his name is, Simmons from Oregon. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, Simmons from Oregon. Yeah. And they went and got Trent Williams as backup. Yeah. So, I mean, they're good on O-line now. Yeah. Especially on or at least, interior, there's questions because of losing Creed Humphrey. But, I mean, they should be fine.
I think their biggest question is their skill players on the offensive side of the ball. At running back and receiver, Rasheed Rice's case has been pushed, so we don't know when he will be coming back for his suspension. Yeah. And quite honestly,
he'll play the first 4 games. You saw that?
Yeah, I mean, if it gets pushed to that extent, yeah. And quite honestly, I don't care what suspension he gets. That's like deserve it a little bit. Like that's just my thing. Whatever comes to him, I will understand it, is all I'm going to say. As far as a suspension, nothing else in that matter, but just as far as a suspension. But with the Chiefs, once again, like you said, they're graded against that Super Bowl performance, when in reality, this is still the team that has daddied and dominated the AFC for multiple years. And to think that this Chargers team or this Broncos team, who are good, who do have Hall of Fame coaches, who do have up-and-coming quarterbacks, why should they be better than the Kansas City Chiefs? I would argue, roster-wise, none of those teams really took that much of a jump to be better than the Chiefs in the first place.
No.
And this wasn't a close gap even last year.
No.
15 wins to, what did the Chargers have, 10 or 11?
Yeah.
Broncos had, I believe, 10 wins on the dot. So this is still a substantial gap. And who knows, Bo Nix can decrease from what he was last year. A lot of second-year QBs do. Justin Herbert still has the issue of, who am I throwing to? They just lost Rashawn Slater, so we'll have to see how that goes. And I just think Mahomes this year, it will be on a mission to get things done, and I think they will come in first in that division, 100%.
I agree. Okay.
Who do you have second in that division? This is where it starts
Second in
for
this
me.
division. Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky. I am going to go with the Chargers here.
Okay.
And I wanted to lean
Wow.
Broncos, but I looked at the Broncos schedule last year. They faced a lot of quarterbacks who are either bad
Yes.
or aren't quarterbacks for that franchise anymore.
Yeah.
But they, it was close for them, those two teams for me, because the Broncos did get Ufunga and Greenlaw, who are both have injury history, so it's not. I don't know if they're going to be there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But those are two key additions. The defense is going to be good regardless, though. And I think Bo Nix will be a little better, not a lot, but I think he'll be a little bit better than he was last year, more comfortable. Don't know who he's throwing. Cortland Sutton. I don't love his weapons. I think it's on the bottom tier of weapons, and I just think the Chargers, I love their weapons a little bit more. Not a lot, but I love them a little bit more. And Amari and Hampton, I really like that running back pickup.
I do.
So I'm going to give the Chargers the edge by a little bit here, maybe a game or two.
Yeah. I also have the Chargers at second, so we're agreeing on pretty much everything right now.
Okay.
But once again, the offensive skill players are even worse than Kansas City, I will argue, outside.
I would argue if everyone's healthy, the Kansas City might.
They might have the best receivers in that division without Travis Kelce.
But even in the entire league, I would say it's not bad anymore. A year or two ago, I would say, they led the league in drops.
And Rashee Rice, if he is there for the first 4 games, then you're still talking about an elite receiving core. But the Chargers, they're relying on the guy from Ole Miss that they just drafted to at least be a little bit of a hit. Yeah. And then you're bringing back some guys that aren't the greatest. You're throwing a Latin
And the thing is, with John Harbaugh's offense, you only need one.
Yeah, and I don't see the hesitance to just draft one guy.
Yeah.
I get we've already discussed this. I get the need to draft running back, but, dog, give him someone to throw.
Or even
I'm tired of hearing these Herbert excuses of if he had this guy or if he...
Yeah.
Well, his front office isn't doing that for him, so let's be realistic. And my thing is with this team, first off, I forgot to ask you. So you have the Broncos third, correct?
Yes, I do.
Do you have both of those teams making the playoffs?
I do. I have all 3 teams making the playoffs.
So your 3 wild cards already confirmed are the Patriots, the Broncos.
I'm sorry. Yes, I think I do. Yeah, I think I do.
Okay, so the Patriots, Broncos, and Chargers.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I do.
I have the Chargers making the playoffs at the second seed. I do not have Denver making the playoffs.
Fair enough.
Like I said, and like you said, their schedule will get tougher.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is going to have harder competition when he's going against these great quarterbacks. It won't be the same. Huh?
It was them and Steelers for me.
Them and the Steelers? All right, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Bo Nix will take a step down. His receiver talent isn't there other than Cortland Sutton, in my opinion. And they did get Evan Ingram. We'll see how interesting that is. Their run game, they don't have a great running back right now. They're depending on the guy. I forgot what his name is as well. But
oh my goodness. They love him though.
RJ Harvey? RJ Harvey, I believe, yeah.
Sean Payton loves him.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And I do love Denver once again, but I just think their competition from last year to this year, they're going to see what real football is like.
Yeah.
And it's going to be every game. They're kind of being hunted now. They're not surprising anybody by how much of a good franchise they are. And then last, I have the Raiders. They will be, in my opinion, very mid.
Yeah, they're going to be mid. Pete Carroll will overachieve with the roster he has. Geno Smith threw, 20 touchdowns last year, 15 picks. He'll be a little bit better, maybe. He has Genty. The O-line is a question. As good as Genty is, it's not a great situation for him as a running back. And the defense has been terrible for the last however long with Max Crosby.
I mean, their roster, obviously Pete Carroll is going to overachieve, like you said, but their roster is just still not at a place where they're going to be going to be anything to do anything dominant, especially
like
in this
7-8
division.
Wins is their peak.
And I'm thinking about 7 wins in this division. Let's move on to the AFC North.
Let's do it.
All right, who do you have winning this division?
Ravens.
Okay.
Clearly, I love our secondary.
Yes.
Like, I love our secondary.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's important when you have, Steelers who do have good pieces at the receiver position, at least, with DK Metcalf and some other guys, they always do well at receiver. And with the Bengals having Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and, Chase Brown at the backfield who can catch it and things of that nature, I think that's very important to have. And our defense was already amazing once we moved back Kyle Hamilton last year in the second half of the season. And I think with us getting the rookie out of Georgia, Starks, and getting Jair Alexander, I mean, those are big time. Yeah, those are key pickups. So I think with that, and then obviously Lamar in the regular season, he's going to be elite. So I would say this is our division still.
Yeah. I think the Ravens are going to finish not only as the winners of this division, I think they will be the 1 seed this year.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it will be a dominant run in this regular season. I think they'll be motivated. And like you said, I mean, this team is once again legit. Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, who was hurt for a little bit. I don't know if
he'll be back, but we'll be fine. We don't need him for the beginning.
They'll be fine. Yeah. And Derrick Henry, and maybe one of his last years of his prime, definitely at the latter end. Yeah. So Baltimore never has a bad front seven. Their DBs, like you said, they're stacked back there. I believe in the second year of this defensive coordinator, they will improve.
And I expect our corner out of Clemson to get better as well as a rookie.
Nate Wiggins.
Yes, I mean, he's so fast.
So them guys, I think they're going to go off this year, and it's just about are they going to finish in the playoffs. And with home field advantage, I think it could be the year that they can make that step.
And I think it could as well. And I saw, I want to say Nick Wright give a comparison that Lamar was like Manning to Brady, and how when Manning won his first Super Bowl, I want to say he threw more picks, or he threw just as many picks as touchdowns. It wasn't like he played dominant in that run. No. And I think eventually, if Lamar keeps having dominant runs and dominant regular seasons, not that Lamar has to be perfect in a playoff game or regular season Lamar in a playoff game, but the cards are going to fall his way eventually.
If he avoids mistakes.
Exactly. If he avoids certain mistakes, eventually someone will come up for him, whether it's Mark Andrews catching a pass, whether it's not fumbling the ball, whether it's the cards will play his way where, because it almost seems like he has to play perfect in these games. And when he does make one mistake, the team, it just trickles down because the narrative is almost in their heads and they can say it's not, but it is.
Absolutely.
So I think this might be the year. I sound like one of those fans, but I think this might be one of the years that it might fall into place.
Yeah, and I completely agree, and we'll get into that when we do. Who do you have second?
So this is where I toggled, and it's so hard for me because I value quarterbacks so much. Yeah, and I think Joe Burrow is literally like the third best, fourth minimum, third or fourth best quarterback in the entire NFL, and if he had a better franchise, we might be talking 1 or 2. Probably 2. Yeah. But I went Steelers here because I think at least early in the regular season, they're going to be good, how they always are with Mike Tomlin, get off to a good start, have a top defense in the league. I do think they'll decline like usual towards the end when they start to maybe play some competition, play some playoff teams, whatever the case may be. And the questions that I have on the Bengals last year, as much as, yes, things didn't fall their way in certain aspects, whether it was Joe Burrow throwing a miscommunication pick against the Ravens, that could have been a dub because the Ravens wouldn't have got the ball back. Yeah. Or, just little things. Terry McLaurin making an amazing catch. Things definitely could have fell their way to where they made the playoffs.
Absolutely.
I still don't know if they solved any of the problems that we said were problems.
They didn't.
And that's my problem with this front office and this franchise is you have an all-time quarterback, honestly, in my opinion, and you didn't solve any of the problems that the team had in the previous year or even try to solve them.
So I have the Bengals finishing second.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I do have them making the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And it hurts my soul because, like you said, I don't think they got better at any position on the field at all. But if we look at their schedule, They start off with the Browns and the Jags, and obviously Zach Taylor has had problems getting his team ready for these early season games. So if they do lose one of these games, let me just say they're cooked.
So if they were to lose, though,
if they lose one of those two, if they don't start the season 2-0 this year, they're done. All right, because week 3 at Minnesota, Minnesota has one of the best rosters in football. Week 4 at Broncos, great roster as well. Week 5, Lions, you're not winning that game.
Well, I mean,
Week 6 at Packers. Week 7, you got the Steelers at home. Week 8, you got the Jets. Like, these are not going to be the easiest of games.
No.
Week 9, the Bears, another tough game at Steelers. So
you're climbing uphill.
Yeah, you're
and
going
you didn't
uphill.
name a lot of division games, so you got a lot of division games late.
They're going to be late. 2 Ravens games very late, but other than that, the back half of the schedule is a little bit more favorable for them.
Yeah.
But overall, like you said, with this team, I believe in Joe Burrow so much in that offense.
That's a great argument. I mean, that's my Mahomes argument.
Exactly. And I think
that's fair.
It will just get him there. And like you said, there were games last year that could have fell their way. If the defense, once again, can just not be better, because they haven't improved, be a little bit more timely, right? Make more timely plays. Even Joe Burrow in the offense at certain points. Just don't make mistakes, make timely plays, and be, honestly, the best offense in football. That is their route to get into the playoffs, and I think it's a very possible route.
Yeah, very possible. I mean, I can't even argue with that. That's a extremely. I mean, when you have Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, I mean, you have all of these weapons. Like, I can go on and on. I mean, saying that their offense could just get them there, especially when they've done it in the playoffs, it's like not like they're not. No, they're clutch. That offense is clutch. And the only guy that you named on that list when you went by teams that I would worry about Jamar Chase going off is Pat Surtain, that Denver Broncos game. Any of the other games, that connection is not going away in any of those games.
No one can stop. It's not happening.
No.
Tell me why you have the Steelers being so great.
By the way, they're like, I have them being bad. I have them losing first round. I have them being frauds.
Okay.
But they always are frauds. And I have to not give them props, but like, I have to acknowledge that they always are like
in the mix.
Exactly. But statistically, I also have seen that in the last 5 games of every season, or most seasons, or at least last season, their defense sucks.
Yes.
Because they get so tired. They're always on the field. I mean, part of the reason why the Ravens defense is good is because Lamar,
they're controlling
Derrick
the pace
Henry,
of the game.
like they get the rest.
Yeah.
But I will say, as much as I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan at this point in his career, I think it'll be better than what they've had.
Yeah.
Which is not saying a lot, but I just think it edges them up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they'll just be a tad bit better, and that's why I have them coming second. And I think they'll, I mean, as much as I love the Ravens, they'll probably split with the Ravens. As much as I love the Bengals, they'll probably split with the Bengals, because there'll be games where, as good as that offense is, they will struggle. Joe Burrow and them will struggle one of those games offensively, and we know on the other side of the football, like DK Metcalf, whoever can just go off against them. So I just think that, like I said, I think the Steelers, like you said, you're worrying about whether they drop a game to the Browns, the Jaguars, because the way the Bengals are built, they could lose to anybody.
Yeah.
They can also beat anybody.
Yeah.
But with the Steelers, it's almost like against a bad team, I know they'll handle business. So, and that's kind of how I feel about it. And against a good team, I know they will lose.
Yeah.
But it's just like, that's kind of how I look at the Steelers. So, that's the reason why I just don't think they'll have any lapses in against any bad teams or anything, and they'll take care of business. They'll split with the Ravens, and they'll have more wins.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll be a better football team, by the way, at all. Like, I think if this was a playoff game, Bengals might win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But it's just the principle of, it's, unfortunately, they might just have more wins, just like last year.
So, the one point I would disagree with you on is I don't think this team is better than last year.
You don't?
To say that Aaron Rodgers was much better than Russell Wilson last year, if we think that's better, I don't believe that. I don't think Russell Wilson got in there and played bad football. I thought the team collapsed with him. I'm not going to lie. Like, I didn't think that's where the problem was. And to talk about DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf is probably not a top half of the league wide receiver one. I think he's
top 15.
Not top 16. Let's just say top half. It's 32 teams.
That's fair.
So, in my opinion, in this offense, DK Metcalf is going to decrease as far as even where he was in Seattle, because we've seen Pittsburgh's stale offense year after year after year. We've seen Aaron Rodgers' deep ball accuracy decrease in the past couple of years. And once again, we will see if Mike Tomlin can, rally the troops and they can get something going offensively. But I have nothing to believe in on that offense, even with any of the skilled players. There's nothing I look at and it's like game breaker, scheme breaker. I don't look at them like a Jamar Chase, like a Derrick Henry on that level of skill of playmaking. So I think they decreased that running back. There's nothing to help him at running back. O-line. Yeah. They've been having O-line troubles for a long time.
Mike Tomlin will never have a good O-line.
And I think this will be their first losing season under Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
And
no playoffs.
No, and I have it at about 8 and 9.
Okay.
So it's like I kind of agree with you. They will handle business, but I just don't think this team is great.
I would love to see that happen. By the way,
with Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay, you do depend on them having some great games, but over the stretch of the season, that can catch up to them. That back end of the defense, like you said, that always stinks in the last 5 weeks of the season.
There's a reason for it.
There's a great reason and great belief that could happen again this year because T.J. Watt has missed valuable time over and over. He's getting older. You just paid him, but once again, he is getting older. Cameron Hayward, I believe, is still in the middle of a contract holdout.
Yeah, he is.
And Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey, you don't know how many games.
Had some injury things.
Exactly.
So I agree, but that's what I was going to ask you. Do you agree that this could be a historic defense, like Mike Tomlin has said?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. You have in today's league, you have to have youth.
Yes.
Youth. And Pittsburgh's front seven, in my opinion, is usually good. The only game they haven't been good, honestly, in my opinion, is that wild card loss to Baltimore.
Yeah.
And I think the Bills, too, the year before that.
Yeah.
But they did draft, obviously, the D tackle instead of Shedeur, which, once again, what are we doing? Pittsburgh. But they drafted the D tackle, and then other than that,
they could have probably got, Hampton there, too, Amarion? They could have got a lot of...
This is probably the third best defense in their own division, in my opinion.
That was a wasted pick.
What? Who?
You're good
Harmon?
there.
Yeah, you're good enough. So maybe they're trying to replace Cameron Hayward. I don't know, but I don't like the vibes, and I definitely don't think they're going up from last season.
No. That's fair to say. I thought they would a little bit just with the defense, and once again, it's not that Russell Wilson was bad. It's more of also Rodgers was in a bad situation, in my personal opinion, last year with fired coach, things of that nature. We'll have to see, but it is neck and neck right there for me. And then obviously at fourth, I have the Browns. Just rosters not. Their defense. I heard their defense is doing really good against the Eagles O-line.
Yeah.
So their front seven.
Their defense is going to be good, like always.
Good at corners. Can you put enough points up? The
most interesting point about the Browns is going to be what week are they going to start chanting Shadeur's name in Cleveland's home stadium. I would actually let's do a line on that. Let me give you a line, and then you tell me if they're going to do it before or after.
You're making the line?
I'm making the line.
Okay.
All right. Let's say after week 4.
After week 4. Okay. I was actually going to say 4 in my head. Okay. That's actually good. Okay.
So
you think it's under or over?
I think it's under. And I'll show you the schedule right now.
All
right. We got the Bengals week 1 at home. All right.
Loss.
They're going to lose, first off. So that doesn't help.
Points, though.
But, yeah, okay.
Their defense is bad.
Yeah, so we'll see. Ravens at the Ravens though, so they're not going to chant right there, but they're getting the belt.
Judy's getting doubled.
Yeah, exactly. They're going 0-2.
Yeah.
And then the Packers are coming to town. All right.
To the Browns. Okay.
And I think the Packers are going to give them the belt too.
You think?
Yeah,
I think they'll bounce back and lose by 10 or nothing crazy. I don't think it'll be crazy.
I think the Packers are on a little bit of a mission this year, and it might get bad. And if they don't score points against this Packers defense, I could just see what is holding them back from saying how they really feel. I'm not gonna lie, it could happen in week 1, but they probably don't want to create that environment in week 1.
Yeah.
If they are 0-3. With Detroit coming up in week 4 and Minnesota coming up in week 5 and Pittsburgh.
Week 4 they play at Detroit though.
They play at Detroit.
Okay, so there's no chanting there.
No, and week 5 is at home against Minnesota.
Okay, people are not talking about Minnesota. Week 5 is when it happens. Week 5, I think.
I think it's the opposite though, because JJ McCarthy could be in a spot where he doesn't put up as many points.
But it's not even that though. It's about the defense and how dominant that roster is. I just think that regardless,
It'll look bad.
Yeah, they're just better at every position.
That makes
is my
sense.
point. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna see that. It's definitely happening at some point. I think he's playing.
Because
this year.
I like Denzel Ward, but Jett is just killing that game, and Addis, like, they're just gonna kill that game. Aaron Jones is gonna get off, and then on top of that, like, that defense is really good, especially at, like, around the linebacker position. I just don't see where they'll get going offensively.
Once again, I just got to see J.J. McCarthy. I don't know.
Who's week 6 at? Is it home again? Where's week 6?
Week 6 was let me see real quick. I think it was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might have been week 7. No, wait, Pittsburgh was week 6.
I would love for him to get sat and go kill Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Like, don't sub him in the middle of the Vikings game. Take the whooping. He is the starter for Pittsburgh week 6.
Yes.
And he beats them into, like, why'd you drafted a D
you
tackle?
drafted a D tackle
instead of me.
You went to the same
You put
spot.
your eggs in Aaron Rodgers, a 42-year-old's basket.
Yeah. Yeah. And you about to lose your... Man, look. That would be... We need that to happen.
We need that to happen.
All right, let's go to the most boring division in football.
Let's do it.
The AFC South. All right. Who do you have winning this division? And we've been pretty much on the same track this entire time, but yeah, who do you have winning this division?
The Texans.
All right.
I don't love the Texans. I love their defense.
Yeah.
I love the Texans defense. I love
C.J. Gardner-Johnson he's ruled out with an injury for the season, so that's
for the season?
Yes, I believe so.
From today?
Wait, no, I think that might have been wrong.
I was about to say, I think he played today.
It might just be a knee injury.
I think he played today.
He played today?
I'm pretty sure I saw him today.
Okay, misinformation. This is why, guys, you can't believe in every post you see, AI, things of that nature, but keep going.
I could have swore I saw him play today.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Good. I love CJ.
Yeah, and Stingley looked good today, too, for the limited
Those DBs are with Kamari Lassiter.
And then you got Will Anderson up there.
I mean, that's scary.
Yeah. So I like them to take advantage of, some not even bad, but we'll just say youthful quarterbacks in this division.
Yeah.
Very young quarterbacks in this division, actually. And I love the connection with C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins. As bad as the O-line is, I just love that connection. And still got Mixon. So, yeah, I'm going to say that they'll win the division.
Okay. I agree.
Okay.
But they're going to be the 4th seed. Locked in 4th seed. They're not going to be better than the Chiefs, in my opinion, or the Bills. And they'll be around 9 or 8, 10 and 7, in my opinion. It'll be a division they win because the rest of the teams could not compete.
Okay.
This O-line is too horrible. I worry about C.J. Stroud getting taken out before he can even make a run. Once again, these receivers with Tank Dell being out, it's probably around middle of the league, and you're just depending on the C.J. Stroud and Nico connection. Nico missed time last year, so we'll see how healthy he is. But this defense is legit.
And it was hamstring.
Yes, exactly. And this defense is legit. And with C.J. Stroud, I'm not going to lie, people forget about him, in my opinion, because of the rough second year he had, which wasn't that rough.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was the second year where he had no help, and it was a whole different world for him. He got his team to the playoffs, played good in the playoffs. So, I don't know. He's kind of like in a reverse Joe Burrow situation for me. My defense is good. My offense isn't really producing me enough to even give me time to throw to these weapons that I have. Really just Nico Collins at this point and Joe Mixon. And Joe Burrow doesn't have a defense that he can lean on in times of pressure. So, yeah, I think the Texans are still going to win this division, but I don't think it'll be dominant.
Yeah, I agree. And at number 2, I have the Jaguars.
Wow, we are agreeing on everything.
Wow, really?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so yeah, I had the Jaguars. Offensive coach with Trevor Lawrence. Now you add Travis Hunter to the mix, Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, he was the best rookie receiver in my personal opinion. If it wasn't him, it was Neighbors, but I would say it was him. And I just think that offense is going to be really elite. Don't know how many stops they're going to get.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they're built enough in the trenches right now. I think they are fun. You know, it's crazy. I think they're in Jacksonville. I think it's a good 7-on-7 team.
Yeah.
You put them into some 7-on-7 jerseys, they're probably winning the entire thing in the entire league. All right. Trevor Lawrence with the cap on and Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter out there. Yeah. But
Travis Hunter playing both ways? Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. So this team is going to be the most fun 6-11 or 7-10 can be. I think their ceiling is around 9 to 10 wins. I just don't think, once again, in the trenches, they're built enough. I don't think Liam Cohen, as a head coach, will work out. I think he's more quirky on that side, like Mike McDaniel, like we just talked about. I don't know if he will be able to bring out the dog, the man, the professional aspect of the business when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, yeah, I think they're very skilled, and I think they'll come second in that division, but I don't think it's anything of substance.
And that's where I go to my number 3. I have the Titans. I think Cam Ward will put them in this spot. I love what I've been seeing from him. Absolutely love. And I think he has serviceable receivers to where, there's no film on him. Good rookie year. Really good rookie year for him. And I just don't like I love the coach with the Colts, but I just don't know quarterback situation-wise how good it is. Yeah. And you got to have the quarterback and the coach, and you don't have both of those. So I just like... honestly, I just like all 3 quarterbacks better than the Colts quarterback, and I hate the Colts quarterback situation, honestly.
Yeah. I hope the Titans are better than the Colts, but I actually have the Colts coming in 3rd.
Okay.
I think this organization has been consistently good at just winning 6 or 7 games at least, and I think that's around where they'll be. Around 6-11 is what I'm thinking. Anthony Richardson still was 8-7 in his starts last year, I believe, and
he played that much?
Yeah, maybe not last season, but in all of his starts.
Okay.
And this team just knows how to win games. Shane Steichen has done good.
Yeah, he's good
with this team. So
I think him and Stefanski are the 2 coaches where it's like, dang, that organization sucks, but they got coached right.
Yeah, they did get coached right, and their rosters are both, especially on the defensive side for Cleveland, and skill players and linebackers, tackle for the Colts. This team is pretty good. They got good players around this roster. So, obviously, there's structurally things that need to change in the organization, quarterback mainly. We'll see what Anthony Richardson can do. Let's not make the mistake of starting Daniel Jones week 1. Let's be honest. It's not going to help you out. You're not winning the Super Bowl. See what you have in this guy that you drafted 4th overall. And Tennessee, I do have finishing 4th. I'm not going to lie. Tennessee's offense is just very, it gives low tier.
Yeah.
When we're talking about Tony
it's a bunch
Pollard,
of guys who are like, I want him to be my number 3 or my number 2.
Exactly.
Or
Tony Pollard as a 1. And Calvin Ridley, I have massive respect for Calvin Ridley and how he
still think he's
runs
number
his
2.
routes. He's a professional. But at this point in time, yes, he is a number 2 receiver.
Lockett.
Number 2, and he will be the number 2 in this system.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think, once again, they're an organization that probably did get coached right as well. But they're just, as far as their roster, I don't think they're there. Having the number 1 pick last year, they have ways to go. So,
and that leads us to the NFC East.
Yes, actually, real quick, AFC Championship. Who over who?
Give me Lamar Jackson taking out Mahomes, who makes it every year.
Are you serious? You taking out Mahomes?
Lamar Jackson
if he
taking out Mahomes.
Okay.
And we will be calling this man a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Yes. All right. I'm going to say...
Because if he plays... one thing I can promise, if we play Josh Allen again, we're winning.
Yeah.
Only person that can beat us is Mahomes.
Yeah. I'm going to actually... I don't want to agree with you. I'm going to say Lamar over Kansas City again. For some reason, I don't think it's a year that Josh Allen is going to beat Patrick Mahomes. I think it's a year that Lamar would, though. Yeah. It just doesn't seem like the Bills got better too much offensively, outside especially. Defensively, I don't know if they're great. I don't know if the Maxwell Harrison stuff has been solved out yet. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Kansas City will beat Buffalo for the 5th time this year in the playoffs, and then have to play Baltimore in the AFC Championship. NFC East, like you said. Who do you have winning that division?
For the first time, maybe in the 2000s, or the first time in
this century, pretty much.
The Eagles will win this, and we will have a back-to-back winner of this division.
Yes.
They have one threat, and it's the Commanders, and the Commanders are good, but the Eagles didn't lose enough players and personnel for me to just be like, oh, they're not winning their division. I have to pick them. They're the defending champs, and they deserve that. So yeah.
Eagles have been to 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, made the playoffs the year in between. This team is now a team that we can consider has great culture, has great winning vibes, has a great winning quarterback, and obviously offensively they're still stacked on their skill position and their O-line. I just think there is no doubt that this team will win this division this year.
Yeah. Even though the defense might have gotten a little worse, I think it's fair to say we're just talking about this division, it's the best offense and the best defense in this division.
Yes. And
in the division.
It's honestly not close in my opinion.
Yeah. But like I said, there's only one competitor. Number 2, I got the Commanders in my personal opinion. I don't think it could be anybody else there.
Do you have them making the playoffs?
I have them making the playoffs.
Okay.
And a lot of people have a slump. A lot of people have them not making the playoffs. A lot of people have Jaden Daniels just falling off. Maybe not because of what their eyes tell them, but more because of what history tells you. And I understand the Hail Mary, this fell in their way, that fell their way. They had a lot of close games that could have went either way. But I feel like that was what was amazing about Jaden Daniels is, other than the Hail Mary, you can throw luck on that. But he made the plays.
Yeah, he did.
And I just like them moving. And, you got they get Laremy Tunsil.
Yes.
And they also got Deebo Samuel. If they can get Terry McLaurin's situation figured out, I think they'll be really good.
Yeah. Obviously, they have to get that situation handled. And I have Washington at second, round 9-8, and missing the playoffs. Wow. And the reason I say that, last season there were games, the same way we just talked about Bo Nix, there were games that went in their favor that could have went the other way just as easily. And I think a lot of those games, without a fourth-place schedule, will catch up to them. All right, we're talking about playing a team like Minnesota instead of, getting the lowly Bears from last year. We're talking about playing teams like Seattle, the Rams, I believe. Like there are teams on their schedule that are tough in my opinion. So I love Jaden Daniels. I don't think there will be a slump at all. But when we talk about throwing a Deebo Samuel around this defense that still is not great, they did make a lot of defensive improvements on this year, so I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Okay. And then third, I have Giants, and last, I have Cowboys. I think we could probably agree there.
Well, I actually have the Cowboys finishing over the Giants.
Wow.
I have the Cowboys going 7-10, which is pretty high.
Yeah.
Higher than I would have thought. And I think that is strictly off of Dak Prescott's arm. Dak Prescott has shown that he can win in this league at a high percentage. Yes. In the regular season.
They got 2 good receivers.
Two good receivers.
Good fantasy numbers.
Yeah, like they will have games where they almost like kind of have to win. Yeah. And I think there's pressure from just, honestly, the country.
I think I just question, like, you don't really got to blitz this team. Like, no. you coverage every single time. Like, just there's no run game really here at all.
I just think they do have playmakers all around the field, and if they don't get the Micah situation handled, it's honestly, that's not anything surprising to me at this point. And the Giants I had around 5-12. I just don't think that's offensively they're going to be great.
So NFC West. This is a lot of controversy around this division. I'm going to go ahead and say I think that Matthew Stafford will get right, and I will take the Rams to win this division.
Wow. So this is going to be the first division that we disagree on the first place.
Let's do it.
Winner. Okay. Like I was talking about earlier, certain teams benefit from having a lowly schedule, and the 49ers are going to be the team, in my opinion, that benefit the most from that. And it gives me Steelers vibes of what you were talking about. A lot of their schedule is I just know that they're going to handle business against lower tier teams.
I agree that it looks like that because of last year, but when I go through their schedule with teams like maybe the Cardinals or just certain games like that, I think it can look easy compared to last year, and I can't really tell you which one, but a good bit of those teams are going to surprise us and not be as bad as it looks. Yeah. If that, per se, like, not to say that it is going to be the Cardinals. I
wouldn't even say the Cardinals because that's a divisional game. I would say, you have the Saints.
But last year,
in
Cardinals
week 2
will be 2 caked up wins.
Yeah, and they'll probably, I think the Cardinals will beat them. Yeah. At least once this year.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But, we're talking about week 2, Saints. Week 4, Jags. Week 6, we got at Tampa and at LA. So, that's
what I'm saying, yeah.
We're talking about the Falcons, the Giants, the Panthers, the Browns, the Titans, the Colts, the Bears, in my opinion. I feel like there is a lot of free wins on the schedule for them. And by the end of the season, Ayuk will be back. Hopefully, they're saying around week 6 right now.
And this sounds crazy. I don't want to predict injuries or anything, but when Ayuk gets back, will McCaffrey be back? Will Jennings be? What's Jennings' situation?
Jennings has stayed healthy, and hopefully they'll get that done. All of these teams usually get that financial stuff done. And Ricky Pearsall as a 2 or a 3, I'm not going to lie, I think he will make that jump.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in him as a 1.
My question is, when the quarterback, you named good guys, but you didn't name Eagles level roster there.
No.
And my question is, when Brock Purdy doesn't have an Eagles level roster, which he had, how good is he?
I mean, and I honestly, with the Rams, the only thing that does scare me is the Matt Stafford stuff. And let's keep it honest with the Rams though,
because I like Verse. I think that defense could make some plays. And
great roster, but they've been prone to slow starts as well.
Yeah,
and you look at their schedule. It's tough, and we could go to that right now.
Yeah.
Who I do have the Rams finishing second and making the playoffs, and being dangerous in the playoffs, being their most dangerous at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Once again, this is going to be a team that has to go through their growing pains if Matthew Stafford
doesn't get healthy,
because week 1 they're playing the Texans. All right, if you're not getting your offense started against the Texans, they might hold you to 0 points in week 1. They're at the Titans, who. They're going to beat them. The Eagles. Then we got the Colts. Then we're talking about the Niners, Ravens, Jags, Saints, 49ers, Seahawks, Bucks. Like this is going to be a team that is going to have some growing pains, especially with their slow starts.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how that goes. I do have both of those teams as playoff teams, though.
And then third, I have...
Who do you have second?
Oh, flip-flop. So I would have 49ers. Okay. I would have 49ers second, yeah.
Okay.
No playoffs, by the way.
No playoffs for the Niners.
No playoffs for the 49ers.
Okay, so for the Commanders, you have them as a wild card. All right, got you.
Yeah, Commanders, I'm on wild card. Third here, I'm gonna go Cardinals.
Wow.
And
let me know why.
I like certain things about I think Sam Darnold could go back to Panthers form very easily.
Yeah.
So as much as I like Cooper Kupp, like how great is Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
With that level quarterback, I don't know. So I think the Seahawks might look good on paper, but one thing I'll say, I like what the Cardinals have done this offseason. Mm-hmm. I like what they've done at corner with Will Johnson. Getting Will Johnson is an absolute steal.
Yeah.
If he could stay healthy. I mean, the only question was his knee, but I don't know. People really overlooked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like what the Cardinals have done this offseason, and I think they'll get third. And I think they'll split with the 49ers and Seahawks. Maybe they'll get one off the Rams. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll do pretty solid in the division. So I'm going to put the Cardinals at third and Seahawks at fourth to be, okay, Sam Darnold was good when he had Justin Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell, and you know what I'm saying?
I have that flip-flopped. I think Seattle will finish third. This defense is going to be pretty stacked.
Yeah, very possible.
They will win them games by themselves, and I think the running game will be better with Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker returning their offensive weapons. They got a new run game coordinator, so they've been looking good this preseason. Having Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, those are guys that are technicians and know how to get open.
Yeah,
so I think exactly. I think in this system they can be highly effective.
I think Marvin Harrison takes a jump too. I didn't say that.
Absolutely.
But I think
I picked him as my wide receiver 2 on fantasy, so he better have a jump. Let's move on. Which division is next?
NFC North, and I'm just going to go ahead and state this now. This is the one I have 3 teams making it.
Okay. Interesting.
And a hot take, I think all 4 teams will be playoff level teams, by the way.
Okay.
So
the Bears as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Bears, you'll be like, dang, I think they could make the playoffs type of thing.
Yeah.
But, so number 1, and no one's going to have this take. I have the Vikings going 1, I feel like.
You have them getting 1 in the division.
I have them getting 1 in the division.
No, sir.
I have them getting 1.
No, sir. Elaborate, B-Lou.
So I think the Packers, not that I'm high on the Packers. I think, all right, so to help you, I have Packers coming number 2.
Yeah.
And Lions, I think, will kind of be hurt from losing both coordinators.
Yeah.
Their O-line is no longer dominant, so we know Jared Goff is good but not great.
Yes.
Whenever you can get pressure to him.
Yeah.
So I think with all of those things being said, I think the Lions will come around third. I think that, and it was the Packers-Vikings for me, and I think the Packers, they have a better quarterback. I just love this Vikings roster, and I think them not paying Sam Darnold and keeping J.J. McCarthy was able to kind of put themselves in the same situation as last year. And once again, I think when a big playoff team comes and a big situation comes, not in a regular season, but in a playoff-like game or, like they did against Detroit for the 1 seed, I think they will lose that, and McCarthy will look bad and things of
Yeah.
that nature. You know, like, not that I've seen too much of McCarthy, but I've seen him in college.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I don't think he's going to be great in the NFL. But yeah, that's just my take, and I think if not that, then it'll be flip flop. I think it'll be Packers Vikings.
So I have Minnesota actually finishing third in this division.
I've seen people have it last.
Yeah, I don't believe in JJ McCarthy right now in his first year as quarterback. And
That's fair.
obviously, you want to say Kevin O'Connell is great with quarterbacks, but there's always a one-off. Kyle Shanahan has been great with quarterbacks. Trey Lance didn't work out with him.
So
it was simple as that.
If this does work out, like, out of coaches offensively, how high are you on Kevin O'Connell?
I mean, you have to be, but where's that offense in the playoffs, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's the same way you judge a Dak Prescott, in my opinion.
But I'm saying from a coach, not McCarthy. I'm saying
from O'Connell's perspective.
Yeah.
It's like the same way you would rank him amongst other head coaches is the same way you would rate Dak Prescott in comparison to QBs, in my opinion. Because if you don't produce the same offense in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. And in their two most important games last year, that didn't happen.
Yeah. I just think it'll be a situation, maybe how we used to look at Andy Reid. Yes, Andy Reid won playoff games. I think Kevin O'Connell will eventually.
And I'm not saying it's that,
but I think it's like, you get your guy and watch out for this guy.
But like you said, I don't think this is the guy.
I don't think it's the guy. No,
I think they saw something in him that I didn't see in college. I think this was a guy that benefited from the roster that he had around him.
I agree. I think he'll do it again.
Was limited with the throws.
Okay, we think the same of him. Yeah,
I do. But when you're talking about this Green Bay Packers team, who was, in my opinion, a better team than them last year, who took the Eagles, they lost by 12 points. It was a 2-possession game. That game was close. I would argue
them and the Rams.
The Eagles' first 2 games of the playoffs was harder than their last 2 games of the playoffs.
They were.
And the Packers are a team that were killed by injuries last year. Jordan Love missed extensive time, and once again, I had them last year being the 1 seed. I have the Green Bay Packers being the 1 seed this year. In
the entire
NFC,
like 15, 14 wins.
Like I'm thinking 14 wins this year, and that's around exactly what I have the Ravens. So those 2 teams are going to be great. But the Packers, man, it's like
MVP level season for Jordan Love, like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. And that doesn't mean that he's better than anybody. I just think with all of these receivers, it can go better than it did last year because they were never all in sync last year. Yeah. I think the oversaturation of there's no wide receiver 1 argument. That's an argument, but now it's like, all right, these guys are all in the lab working. Yeah. We got more rapport with these guys. Josh Jacobs is going to be dominant this year once again. And this defense is only going to have more experience than they had last year. So there's no reason Green Bay shouldn't be 1 for me. And Detroit was number 2 for me.
That's fair as well, yeah.
This roster is stacked. I still think they know how to do things. Dan Campbell as a head coach,
he's amazing.
I don't think there will be an emotional drop off. I think there is a new
culture is not something that
and I think
the Lions will ever lack from now on. No,
and there's a new narrative in that locker room that, obviously first it was okay. No one believes in us. We're gonna go out. We're gonna win 3 games, but they're gonna be the most competitive 3 games in the world, or 16 games. We're going to play competitive every round. And then next year, we're going to get golf. We're going to win 8 games. Yeah. And knock the Packers out of playoff contention. Next year, we're going to get to the NFC Championship. Almost beat the 49ers. Should have beat the 49ers. Next year, obviously, you go out against the Commanders.
Too many injuries.
Dan Campbell is telling his team something to motivate them and get them motivated. They have a chip on their shoulder right now, and I love that for them. I think by playoff time they will be a better team than they start the season off as.
Yes.
So I have them at number 2.
I have them at number 3, and once again I had them making the playoffs.
So let's explain Chicago at number 4. How do you think their season will go?
Solid, but I'm not I never have been a Caleb Williams guy like other people have been. No. And that's just me personally. And there's certain traits, whether it's personality, and from everything I see, whether it's in the media, and maybe the media is fooling me. Yeah. But from what I see in the media, from what I see with my own 2 eyes, the body language, things of that nature, I don't know how much Ben Johnson can change. No. And one thing that has to be talked about is a lot of these offensive coaches, whether it's Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell, Kyle Shanahan, what's not talked about is when they get the when they draft these quarterbacks that play off script, and they do all these things off script, a lot of them can't play on script.
No.
And Caleb Williams is amazing off script. He can make plays that no one else can. But can he throw the screen pass? Can he make the simple throws? Can he just drop back and throw a simple, very accurate pass? Like, honestly, that's what I love about Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Is he can make the simple throw. Still has big play potential, but, doesn't have the talent or the legs that maybe Caleb Williams does. And, not just Shedeur Sanders, but that's what even I think that's one thing about McCarthy. McCarthy cannot play off script.
Yeah.
But I'm very confident that he'll be great on script.
Yeah.
And I think one thing I won't question.
I'm not confident in that at all.
Great might be a stretch. Yeah. But I think he'll just be accurate.
Yeah.
I think he'll just be accurate, and that's my take on him. He's going to be accurate. He's going to drop back, and he's going to throw to receivers that are open and Aaron Jones and hand it off to him. And that's kind of my take, and I don't see that in Caleb Williams. And it's almost like watching him play. It's like it's almost like I'm just like he's just doing too much. And I understand he's trying to make something out of nothing, but at this point, I've heard too much in preseason, and I've heard too much early. That's just not good.
Too much noise coming out of camp.
Exactly.
And my thing with Caleb Williams, and I feel like the narrative with Ben Johnson going to Chicago has been like, we saw what Ben Johnson could do with Jared Goff. Imagine what he could do with the talent that is Caleb Williams. And I think even when you talk about tools, the ceiling of Caleb Williams' potential is extremely overrated in my opinion.
Nah, it is.
Like, we talk about how great this guy can be based off tools. Who do we really expect? Once again, who do we expect him to be better than? And we talk about his division, Jordan Love, Jared Goff. That's a high peak we're talking about NFL quarterbacks playing to where he's just going to get there this year in his first year with Ben Johnson. I don't think that will happen. I don't think Caleb Williams, like you said, knows how to quite play on schedule right now. I don't think he has the tools, the height, to be able to throw over the line like Jared Goff does with precision and accuracy every single time he touches the football.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson could draw up a play, and Jared Goff is reading that thing from left to right, and he knows how to progress, and he knows how to put the ball on wherever he needs to put it.
Yeah, I think people just fell in love with the Mahomes style. I think they saw him they see a lot of these quarterbacks throw on the run.
Exactly.
And it just amazes them.
No,
but it's almost people have valued playing off script, throwing on the run, throwing outside the pocket so much that they can't just run their simple offense anymore because they haven't valued the quarterback that can just sit back, Jared Goff. And I understand you need a off script, you need a Lamar, you need a Josh Allen, you need, whether it's a Joe Burrow, you need these type of quarterbacks that can play off script to, win you a championship at the end of the day. I think that's my take. You do need a quarterback that can make something out of nothing to win a championship. Because we haven't seen one win it. Like, when was the last one?
Probably Peyton.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's been Tom Brady.
Nick Foles, maybe. I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but I'm not a Caleb Williams fan, and I don't see, as talented as he is, will he ever be a top 10 quarterback? That's an actual
that's a
legitimate question, and I don't know. People I don't know. I feel like he got a lot of Mahomes comparisons. It's like, no, just stop.
It's not that.
Yeah, it's
I mean, let's talk about if he's going to be better than C.J. Stroud first. Yeah, and he's not going to be. Yeah. It's just not. That's not going to happen.
So I have them coming fourth, and I think, I have them coming fourth.
Last division, NFC South. Who do you have winning that division?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Panthers. I've seen a lot of Falcons. I got the Buccaneers winning this division
again. That's boring.
It's boring, but I have over the years just become more and more of a fan of Baker Mayfield and his development and his getting off commercials and his just getting better, honestly. And he had an elite year last year, and his numbers give top 5 quarterback. Yeah, that's what his numbers are. So he comes in and does the same thing as last year, wins the division, but then he wins 1 or 2 playoff games. We're talking about this guy is he the 5 to 8 range? Yeah. Is he the 6th, 7th best quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Best quarterback in the NFL. That's a legitimate question you can ask if he does the same thing and wins a playoff game. And I think I've heard a lot, but just watching him today as well, Egbuka is
he's nice.
He's
already a vet.
Jeremiah Smith just blinded people of how good this man was. Yeah. And I think he's going to come right away. And by the end of the year when Godwin comes back, Godwin's your number 3. Yeah. And that's scary.
It's going to be scary. If they
and Trent Wirtz is going to come back. That O-line is solid. running back, you're good.
Yeah.
Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving.
This could be a better offense than the Bengals. Not saying it will be, but this is
it has the highest potential.
Yeah, it's elite potential. I mean, Mike Evans, all I know is he's going to get 1,000 yards. I mean, that's what history would tell me. Now, he was very close last year.
Yeah.
But let's say he gets 900. It's still a good receiver. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is a great receiving core, great offense, and Todd Bowles will have the defense looking good as well.
Exactly.
So I like this roster. I think they'll win the division. I've heard a lot of hype from the Panthers. I've heard hype from the Falcons. But everything looks like on paper. And what I know with the Buccaneers is they have culture and rapport that will it's already there. Yeah. So I know preseason doesn't matter, but I have been like, dang, the Panthers, you're not getting like Bryce Young looked good on that one drive where he threw the off-script touchdown, but they didn't score a touchdown today in their preseason game. And so my gut tells me that the Falcons will come second. And that's my gut. And I don't want I want the I want the Panthers. I want the Panthers to win the division. I think they, I'd give them a shot. Not saying they will, but I'd have the Falcons coming second personally. What would you have?
I had the Bucks coming in first as well. It's boring.
Yeah.
But like you said, this offense, when you look at them on paper and what they've actually done in this league, like it's just they're going to be good again.
Yeah.
Emeka Ibuka is going to be great. We forget about Jalen McMillan, who was a good addition for them. They have two good running backs, right? And Lovie Smith is just the coach that I trust most in his division.
Yeah.
Atlanta, when I was predicting, these three teams were all in like the same vicinity of record. But when I thought about it, quarterback and coach just separated it for me.
Yes.
And I really do not trust Raheem Morris right now as a coach. I think this team can definitely underachieve.
I agree.
And I would honestly say there's a very even split in where I think the Panthers and Falcons are.
Even. Like one game.
Like I don't know what, and I think this division is going to come down to the end of the season. I think the Bucks will have a hold of it, but it will.
You think
come
one
down.
Playoff team?
I think they have one playoff team.
Yeah.
So my three wild cards were Detroit.
You gave the 49ers
Detroit,
and
Rams. Oh, dang, I didn't have a third. Wait.
Is it from the North?
No, it's from the West. I had Seattle making it. I did have Seattle making it.
Wow.
And
I don't like
know,
that. All right, that's the one, like, everything I've seen where you're coming from, I don't like that one.
Well, why do you not like that one?
I just think that, when we go, as much as, you like the Seahawks, I just would love to take the Commanders over them. I just think the Commanders is a much easier choice for me over the Seahawks. I think that's what it is.
I just think the Seahawks in Mike McDonald's second year, their defense is amazing. Yeah. And with Sam Darnold, I know it's going to be tough to replicate what he did last year, but
I don't think
just make plays at a certain point. Like Cooper Kupp, this receiving core is great.
But is the receiving core better than what Sam Darnold just had?
Obviously not better. You can't get better than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, like him alone, and
you could argue they'll have a better running game. Their O-line has just improved. So if they can get to a point to where Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is only ascending in this league, Cooper Kupp, I forgot who their tight end is right now, Bobo, who they have out there, big guy, this team could be really good in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I just think it was right there for me, and Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold, I'm gonna lean.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
But then Carolina would be, for right now, I'm gonna say they're my second team.
Yeah.
Because I see a high ceiling with Dave Canales over Raheem Morris, and I like Bryce Young a little bit more than Michael Penix as far as we are right now. So, coach quarterback, I would give to Carolina. But we will see. We will see. I think any of those three teams can win that division for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't know how I feel about Raheem Morris, and I don't know how I feel about the Panthers' defense. I love their offense. I don't know if Panthers are elite in the trenches. I don't think they're elite.
They have Derek Brown coming back, which will help.
Yes,
inside, but in left tackle they're set as well.
Then, I mean, Saints. Are we talking Arch Manning? Are we talking Grant Nussmeier?
Yeah, we don't even got to talk about Saints, but I'm definitely thinking Nussmeier. Nussmeier is my QB1 right now. I like Nussmeier.
I like Nussmeier.
I do.
I really do.
I think he can be good.
And Arch, I think our Arch already announced he's staying his senior year as well. So
did he officially announce that?
I don't think he did. I think
Peyton and those.
I think his dad did. I think his dad was just like,
he
and that would be a Manning thing to do. Like
that would also be a less money thing to do. And you talk about NIL. That's
the thing. That's the one family that
it don't really matter for.
We're not talking about a guy that he's missing out on generation. No, like he's fine. He's fine on money. Like if there was a guy that could choose his career over money, like he could choose his career.
If he comes out as the number one prospect, that is a different type of money as far as like you're getting paid you're getting paid around $25 for a rookie extension now. Like that's
but still
crazy.
Like, I don't know. Like
we will see.
That would be crazy. It would be crazy.
And also, hopefully, he is the number one prospect coming out because I think at this point it's a disappointment to be anything less.
Yeah, I think the problem is like, and he's even said it himself. Like, I haven't really put a little bit on tape, but
he hasn't.
A lot of it's hype.
It's hype. It is hype. So we will see. Speed questions with Gav.
Let's do it. Speed questions. I got 3 today.
Alrighty.
Number 1. How do you feel about the controversy around Patrick Mahomes, whether it's, Colin Cowherd or Pro Football Focus or, whatever Dan Orlovsky's lists.
Yeah.
And Mahomes, all these different arguments that Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the NFL anymore. And it's, people have their choice, whether it's Lamar's the best, Josh Allen's the best, Joe Burrow's the best. It's one of those 3 over him. How do you feel about that?
So, my opinion is simple as it gets when it comes to the disrespect to Mahomes. First off, anybody in the AFC should not be considered a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes until they get out of the AFC. All right? At all. All right? And if Joe Burrow has not been to the last 2 playoffs, he hasn't even been in contention. Let's keep it just like that. You have more of an argument to say Jalen Hurts is better than Patrick Mahomes than to say that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. All right, because
there's one argument that he beat him.
Yeah, you have an argument.
Yeah.
He beat the guy twice and outplayed the guy, or he beat the guy once, well, technically twice in his career, but he beat the guy once in the Super Bowl and outplayed him twice. That's your argument. When you talk about Josh Allen, you can never say that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes has just played good in every playoff career of his career.
Yeah.
The Joe Burrow, once again, you haven't been to the playoffs, and then Lamar Jackson, you have no argument.
Yeah.
Absolutely no argument unless it's pure production from a regular season standpoint, and we don't care about that.
I just think 0 people have an argument. I mean, this man is.
Yeah, no, I don't either. But I'm just saying, if there is a guy.
Yeah, I think no one has an argument. I think this guy went to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls.
Yes.
Josh Allen has not seen one. Lamar has not seen one. Joe Burrow, I hate to say it, like, you haven't made the playoffs 2 years in a row.
No.
And, I just think, like I said, and Nick Wright made a great point as well. Once again, Nick Wright. If, as much as people talk about the statistic decline in Mahomes' years, the past few years, where he has had a much worse, receiving core, O-line.
Yeah.
One thing that hasn't been talked about is, so if Mahomes had the year that Lamar did or Josh Allen did or Joe Burrow did last year, they would say that Mahomes is not the best anymore. If it was flip-flop. Let's say Mahomes was flip-flop with Josh Allen. Oh, Josh Allen beat him this time?
Yeah.
And won the MVP? Yeah, they would say Josh Allen's better than him now. Let's say Lamar, you throw, 40-something touchdowns, 4 interceptions in the whole year, and you should have probably won the MVP or you came second, whatever. Like, they would be like, oh, yeah, like, and let's say Mahomes, like, you know what I'm saying? They would say, but Lamar went to the Super Bowl and beat him? Yeah, they would say Lamar is better. Same thing with Joe Burrow. If Mahomes did what Joe Burrow did, and Joe Burrow did what Mahomes did, Joe Burrow went to another Super Bowl. Let's say he got blown out, but he went to another Super Bowl. And let's say Mahomes didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he threw for a bunch of yards, 5,000-something yards, a bunch of touchdowns. We would say, like, he's not winning.
Yeah.
So I just think, but if it was flip-flop, if any of those quarterbacks did what Mahomes did, if Lamar has a bad statistic here and Lamar makes the Super Bowl this year,
he's better.
He's better.
Yeah.
We're talking about if he makes Super Bowl this year, automatic top 10 quarterback all time.
Yeah.
If he's not already
no, he's already that.
That's what I'm saying. So same thing with Josh Allen. So I just think that's my personal thing with it. I just think it's not really an argument. People are just looking for a decline in this and that, but winning trumps everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second, after the first 2 preseason games, if you were in Kevin Stefanski's shoes, what do you think they should do at quarterback, and what are your opinions on, we'll just say, the entire room? Obviously, we haven't been able to see Pickett. We know what Joe Flacco is.
Well, the obvious choice is to play Shedeur Sanders. He's the best
Start right away.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting anything out of starting Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is the worst quarterback I've ever seen start for a franchise. Like, going into a season, they knew they was going to start him.
Yeah.
And
because he looked good for y'all.
yeah,
But like,
yeah,
anyway,
that's easy. And then Dylan Gabriel, I never thought was even an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
So Shedeur obviously has to start, but if you're Kevin Stefanski and you obviously wanted to draft Dylan Gabriel, then you're going to try to live through Dylan Gabriel and whatever he could do to protect your image, to protect your job, because Cleveland isn't going to be good for a while, it seems like.
Yeah.
You still want to protect your image as far as what other organizations may be looking to hire you, because you're a coach of the year. You should be a hot commodity whenever you do get fired. That's why Cleveland has kept you along so long with even a couple of losing seasons, I believe. So we will see what happens, but I mean, I would have to say start Shedeur if you want to win football games.
Yeah. And lastly, out of these three quarterbacks, most would say this is a make or break year where at the end of the season we can say they're the franchise quarterback, and they might be like, we might bridge them, but they're not the quarterback forever. Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, and Bryce Young. Who do you think out of those three do you have the most faith in to rise to the occasion and solidify themselves as the franchise quarterback out of those three?
Oof. I would have to say Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Would be the highest, because first off, I just think there's no way they get off of Trevor Lawrence after this year anyway. I just don't think he's in that position. I think as much as people don't want to admit it, he's done enough good for his job security. I think his job is the most secure out of all of those guys right now, honestly, even though it's going to be Caleb's second year. But when you have Travis Hunter, when you have Brian Thomas Jr., when you have all these guys, these great
wins
running
or
backs,
loss, you think he'll put up numbers?
Yes, and you have Liam Cohen, who helped out Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
He'll come over and help out Trevor. I just think in that division, and probably the worst division in football, he can have a lot of success, even playing some other teams with once again those great receivers. So I got Trevor Lawrence in that one. Who do you got?
I would say Trevor Lawrence as well, simply off of, like, not saying maybe a Joe Burrow-esque year like last year, but like he can put up elite numbers that we look at as like, wow, like all you gotta do is win now. You put up the numbers, like all you gotta do is win now. So, and adding Travis Hunter just is like, I would argue that I think he's better at offense. Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah, so I would just say with that, like him being a wide receiver number 2, if he can be. You might have the 2 best rookie receivers back-to-back years is my point, which is very true. Which is scary. That is scary moving. Yes. So and you get the offensive coordinator that just is gonna boost him at a head coach now. So absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry we haven't been here for a while, but we just been enjoying summer. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.